Hi, I'm Jale. Welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general collective reading for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus for the month of October 2019. We're going to link in with the guides first of all to see what general energies are around at this time or throughout the month. And then we're going to be pulling a few tarot cards from the Wheel of the Year deck. And then maybe a few oracle cards just to give sort of clarification on outcomes. So I'm just going to link in with Spirit now. I'm holding some Lemurian crystals, okay, just to sort of obviously, because I'm quite tactile and I want to hold them, it just allows me to channel easier. If you see some random lights going off in the background, the only light I have is in front of me. It's just when I'm channeling, sometimes lights come through. I'm not pressing any lights, just to sort of make you aware. So Spirit are talking here about validation of the self and how you do not need anyone else or any other outside external elements in order to complete you and what it is you are here to achieve. If you've previously experienced people questioning that, questioning you, questioning your judgment, this is in order to, maybe that's a significant word, this is in order to integrate certain dualistic elements of oneself in order to complete you, both your masculine and feminine elements and aspects, so that you are able to transition and move forward into a new phase. This is about phasing out the more lower ego elements that are the more three-dimensional expectations that people have placed on you within this reality. So prestige, money, who you should and shouldn't be around, maybe your career, love. It's based on family expectations that have been carried through. They're also talking here about generational karma here that is being phased out. So if you are Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus, I feel specifically, I mean, you could also have Leo, the Sun in the 5th house. I would also be looking at it for that as well. You could be having generational karmic influences that are being brought up to be resolved at this point in time. So if you've felt maybe a few barriers, a few restrictions that have been coming up, this is in order for it to be cleansed and integrated into yourself, and to realise and unlock certain aspects of yourself that have been dormant. I'm just getting the information and passing it on as I'm hearing it. 1 second. There is a gift waiting at the end of all this for you that may not have been realised, and maybe it has started to become apparent to you. This goes back all the way through to when you were young, when there was perhaps a programming or an expectation from caregivers, parental figures, role models that place this upon you that is being phased out. The reason it was placed on you is not for any malice. It was part of your soul journey in order to integrate hidden aspects that wouldn't have been realised otherwise. Sorry, I'm just giving this exactly as it is coming, because my guides are being really specific about this. Bear with me 2 moments. And again, if this doesn't resonate, take what does, but just leave, the rest. My guides are also very insistent that this is going to resonate with you. So I apologise if you're sat there thinking, well, it doesn't. So my guides are saying wait, because there will be something for everyone, I feel. They're talking here about Pluto going into direct, which is on the 3rd of October, where there is a huge rebirth. But for you, Leo, it's going to be extremely significant. Now they're showing me... it's like your world is opening up on a multi-dimensional level, okay? You could be seeing 3 multi-dimensional shapes, figures, feeling a broader, it's like your energy is really, it's like you're integrating certain elements and that's unlocking your energy centers that are projecting out more light, and because there's more light, you're downloading more information, and it's in order to unlock certain elements for you to move forward. But this is very high dimensional integration here. The extremely high sort of dimensional integration. They're also talking about a reference to Egypt here as well. So you could have been feeling like you've been drawn to Egypt. It's almost like there's a past life scenario here that's being phased out in order to move forward for this new paradigm, this new energetic blueprint, this new realized integrated energetic blueprint. Very difficult to explain in words, if I'm being totally honest with you. I mean, I could draw it. I could try to draw it for you. If you feel like you're being connected to music and other forms of communication, go with it, because there is also something for you there. There's a very strong onus on the feminine side, okay? So that would be the left side of your body. There's something around the feminine here that is being recalibrated, okay? They just keep saying about look for dimensional shifts. If you felt that you're within your environment, you've been looking around thinking you don't know if you quite identify with what is around you and who you're connected to in the three-dimensional reality or in the sort of matrix that we're in, that's because it's like you're rebirthing into this alternate step up within a different kind of dimensional reality here, but you're still obviously here. I don't know if this is, bear with me, because this, you guys are clearly getting a major upgrade. Like, the long and the short of this is that my guides are telling me off now. They're saying this is a serious business. Eek. You must look after yourselves at this time, guys. I'm going to give you a heads up. This is some serious insight they're giving. So if you want a more light-hearted reading, I feel like this may not be for you, because these my guides are very insistent about this. So they're saying you must look after, they're telling me off now. You must look after, they're saying keep focused. They're saying you must look after yourselves at this time and nourish your temple, because it's going to be extremely important for the next 16 to 18 months. This is a brand new cycle you're going into. Although you are not... It's interesting, because we have reached Libra season, this is about balance and recalibration. And with you, Leos, this is about elements of the feminine that are being again, if I'm saying things differently, this is all very deliberate. I feel like they're trying to utilize a bit of light language here in order to sort of heal certain elements with what. So if you're feeling like maybe you're picking up heat or tingles, it's because there's a healing element coming through this message. It's because it is here to be reworked and rewritten in your favor. Everything is as it needs to be, and everything has its place. Do not doubt and do not have fear. If you do have fear coming up at this time, it is parts of the ego that is testing your new reality. You must stand your ground and move forward fearlessly in order to capture your true essence at this time. Do not fear. You have a lot of protection and spiritual support that will allow you to move through this period. They're also talking here about something coming back around in order to test out what you've learned, and if that is the case, not to worry about it. They're talking about fearless warrior now. So if you've experienced extreme hardship, then they're acknowledging that, and they're saying that there is a badge of honor here with this. There is something that they're really acknowledging, as if to say, this part of your soul contract is to acknowledge the inner strength that you are being tested against your ego in order to... It's like a diamond in the rough. They're carving the more harsher elements in order to refine what is ultimately underneath you on a soul level, in order for you to shine as intended. You will encounter certain individuals and energies that may test that, that may challenge that. Ultimately, you will know what it is that it is best to do within this upgrade. There is nothing that you would need to do apart from to concentrate on the self-love and to keep your balance with ego matters. Your ego is your gift. It doesn't need to be your defining facade that is projected onto your reality. I hope you're following this. I'm just giving this out. I'm trying not to analyze it because I feel like that's something that you guys would need to do and take it as it resonates. They're talking about 3 pathways here. Once this has been integrated, one will be, they're also talking about shadow aspects and elements being integrated. If you haven't done any shadow work, I'd be looking at that. Or if you still have and feel like there's more to do, then by all means. Once you have reworked this upgrade and looked at your shadow self, as well as any healing elements, there is 3 pathways that will present themselves. Will this be around October? The ideal would be that this would be projected and given around October time. One is to test you based on what you've learned. One is a significant upgrade that is going to allow the abundance to come through that you have been trying to manifest. And the other one is an old path that is the middle ground of the 2 others. This is what Libra season will give you. And they're saying, now excuse me if this is coming across extremely harsh, but they're saying and all else is irrelevant. So, and they're telling me off for not saying to give it exactly as it comes across. They're saying it's a serious business, and they're telling me off for laughing now because they're saying Leos have fought so hard to get to this point that this is not to be underestimated. There has been an extreme struggle with some of you guys in the collective with the energies here, that this is a defining moment, and it's like the outcome of a lot of seasoned, developed, harvested work that has been put in. And why would you not want to celebrate that? And so in order to fully celebrate it, they want to make sure the message comes through in its entirety with showing the actual energies so that you can see how far you've come, but also take it seriously in order to move forward and complete what you are here to do. There's a lot of totally brand new cycles coming up around you guys that are, there's a heck of a lot of abundance with this energy. If you were to follow this path, that there's a huge amount of abundance. It's like I'm seeing a rainbow with a pot of gold at the end. Now, obviously, this is, I can't sit here and guarantee everyone is going to get that. But theoretically, if you followed this, I feel like you would, because it's an infinite energy. You know, we're obviously restricted in our physical bodies here, but we are souls that live this physical existence. Excuse me, I'm just, this is me trying to recycle a bit of the energy because there's a bit of low vibrational energy here. So if you see me making weird faces, I'm trying not to burp. They're also talking about here about a return to home. So if you felt out of sorts, then again, they're reiterating that this is also going to return you home. It's going to be like a return to the self, a return to the soul path, or a new timeline where you're returning to a soul path and a soul purpose that is being redefined, okay? So they're saying now I can look at the cards. Okay, so let's pull some cards here. Just to kind of give some more clarity and insight. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs, please. October 2019. Messages and insights, please, Spirit. You've had to fight hard for this, I feel. The people that are going to resonate with this, people have had to really dig deep. And they're acknowledging the work you've done and saying keep it up. Because this is not to be underestimated. This is, I mean, this is being played down a little bit with the energy, but me, as a human... fair play, because the energy's been, I feel like if you're resonating with this, you guys have really gone through it. and you're coming out the other end. It's like this phoenix energy a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, there's a bit of a defensive energy here. So it could have been that you've had to really stand your ground, and yeah, they're clarifying the messages here. The strength. You've had to really dig deep here, okay? They're just clarifying these messages, but this is something where you've really had to dig deep, and you're being acknowledged and recognized for it, okay? So this is to say that you are finding your way and your path home as intended, and this was always to be written into your journey, because the victory wouldn't have been as sweet otherwise if you didn't have to work for it. But there is something around ego that's being reintegrated to all this. Strength card being the ego. Watch for triggers that come up around this time where you're defending yourself. Make sure it's for the right reasons and not for your ego. Be very flexible. It's like they're talking about surrendering here, okay? So surrendering and trusting the process. The defenses might have to come down a little bit in order to really... When we're closed off, sometimes we don't always pick up the energy that is intended to reach us. And in order for this integration to happen, I feel like we need to be totally open within our energy in order to and surrender to it, surrender to our path, so that we are able to embrace what it is we need to. Now, heartbreak, we're moving away from heartbreak here. This is the energy that has been and will be moved out of in this month, okay? Yeah. There's a huge offering here, okay? So this is the sort of reintegration that Spirit was talking about earlier, the Seven of Pentacles here. So there's something is being grown with this. This is an ongoing project that's being harvested. It's the seeds have been planted. You know, we are just waiting for the fruits of our efforts to come into fruition, but it will come at the right time. When it does, there is going to be an acknowledgement here. There's going to be celebration, and it comes with a freer type of energy, but also a more emotional balance. There's a more abundant emotional balance to all this, as well as a defined freedom that would not have been recognized otherwise. So again, yeah, look, and they're reaffirming it. So this could also be acknowledgement. You know, this could be public notoriety, this could be loyalty. Again, it's celebration. It's, you know, they're placing a wreath on her head. It's a crowning, defining moment, not for the ego self, but part of your soul path, to acknowledge that even without recognition previously, where you've had to fight and maybe defend and struggle, you are already being recognized by Spirit for your efforts, and you will continue to do so as long as you are following your path and not so reintegrating this ego self, okay? They're also saying here, this is the Eight of Wands. So this is communication, fast moving sort of travel. Now, this is the other thing, because we've got a bird here, this is typical of angel type of shape-shifting energy. You could also be getting an upgrade intuitively, where you are receiving insights and information once this integration has happened. It could also be that you have already had that, but maybe you're a little bit fearful or defensive of that energy because you're not quite used to that energy. But they're saying if this is something that you've been fearful of, again, you need to, this is usually ego. When we're in that kind of energy, it tends to be, we're not resigning ourselves to what is, and we're very, very rigid about what, you know, the control of our external environment and how we're trying to expect how things will evolve and manifest. And if we're surrendering to that and trusting upstairs and trusting the process, the acknowledgement will come anyway, because we're not in fear, we're not grabbing, you know, onto that control of any external situations. We are within that moment, and we are surrendering to the process and allowing the energy to come through without any blockages, without any resistance, in our true defined mannerisms, and also soul self, higher selves. You know, it's that link to the higher self as well. Okay, let me just clarify this card. Clarify the card, please. Yeah, it's like when you have reached that point, and again, this is you're gonna start seeing this around October as it moves forward, sort of through the month. you are, once you've integrated this side of yourself, or you started to, you're going to start seeing things from a different perspective, okay? And you're going to see things from a higher perspective that are going to enable you to see where this pathway would lead, and therefore to choose the 3 options. Now, these 3 cards are also defining the 3 options that I've mentioned. So this is the higher ground after integration, in order to make the decision based on what it is you've learned. Okay, this is the tried and tested path that we've been used to before, 4 of Cups, that we know what the outcome is for that. We know that the outcome is that it's tried and tested. We know that this is an older way, maybe slightly outdated. It could be that this is the old way of doing things, but this is the option of the new path where you're going to be choosing what is best for you. And do you remember when I mentioned about the abundance coming? This is the Magician, whereby you are within your full glory and you are manifesting exactly what is intended to be coming through within due course and time, because the time is right. You've learnt the lessons, you've integrated elements and aspects within yourself, including ego. You have managed to balance exactly what it was that was needing to be balanced within the ego self, okay? And again, there are opportunities with this Page of Wands that are going to be coming in, that are on the horizon, that are ready and waiting to come in, but it just needs to be brought into balance with this in order for that to be realized, okay? And again, they're reiterating this again. Do not underestimate the power of this journey, okay? Because it could be even that you're actually going to be choosing a path that brings notoriety, and or because you're in your power, a heck of a lot of abundance, but not just it's almost like previously on the path, it's like you were choosing, no offense, but you were choosing ego, and it was kind of driving you down a path, but you weren't fully integrated, and there was only a certain limit to that path that was always going to kind of cause you not a block, but just like a limited outcome. By choosing to reintegrate the ego and to sort of step outside of that and to go onto the new path, you're going to end up what it is you want anyway, because you're living within your soul means and within your true authentic self. So they're also talking about removing any masks, any projections of how society expects you to live, and to remove the ego, reintegrate that, and to move forward. Because there's a lot of abundance coming here. This is the King of Pentacles. This is the ultimate stable, solid offer, practical offer, tangible offer, okay? That is the outcome, but you must choose to surrender, to control and to sort of hold on tight. Sometimes that does restrict that energy rather than bringing it towards you. It does tend to restrict that kind of energy rather than bring you blessings. Now, this could also include a relationship or potentially a connection with other people that is outdated, that is weighing heavily on you, whereby you need to, again, with the ego, it needs to be integrated. It could be you or could be them. But there's a needing to go in here and, sort of follow your own inner light, sort of regroup in order to come together with yourself and or then the right partnership. This is the Two of Cups. Apologies for the rubbish webcam that doesn't ever focus. But thank you for the webcam also, otherwise I wouldn't be able to do this. So we have to count our blessings. Okay, so the reintegration of the self is the most important here, because what that brings is a brand new creative start. Ace of Wands, okay, this is realised creative passions. This is the ultimate of the ultimate, that will lead us back to ourselves, will allow us to move away from what is outdated and what is no longer needed in order for our new start, okay, which is the Fool card and the Eight of Cups. We have to trust this process and trust ourselves and look for triggers. They keep talking about looking for triggers. So if you're if you're getting really triggered and you're trying to hold on very tightly to something, you have to look to see, is this my ego? Is this something that is needing to come up for healing, so we can reintegrate upgrade ourselves so that we're not so affected by how, you know, people's projections or opinions or whatever, you know, are placed onto us, and then we're reacting. We've also got the King of Wands here. Now, this is a very focused, very passionate male masculine energy. Okay, it could be that you are within your masculine energy. It could be that you are, this doesn't have to be that you're male, you could be male or female, but there is also an option with this recalibration to be reconnecting with your counterpart, because we've now pulled out the Queen of Wands, which is the final. It's like, this is, in terms of the long-term path, this is essentially what is the aim. It's like a few key recalibrations in order to really totally change and to bring in the union of soulmates and or twin flames, and a total healing of the past and what has already been, so that you are able to bring in that energy towards you, which is the counterpart of a lifetime. Could be divine union, again, twin flame, soulmate, take it as it resonates. Could also be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius sign. For some reason I keep getting Sagittarius. Right, can I just say, I don't have two decks here, and I'm not, like, I'm shuffling. I'm gonna have to start putting the camera on these cards. Guys, it's happening. Unions are happening. We've got now the King and Queen of Cups. So this is a water sign. So Scorpio, Pisces. Pisces. Why is my mind gone blank, Spirit? They're saying it's a very deliberate reason why. Scorpio and Pisces. Take it as it resonates. Yeah, this is the second counterpart now. You could have more than one option, and you could be deciding that, which is where the three options come in. It could be that there are three options within love. So being single, picking one partnership, picking the other. It could also be, yeah, look, Two of Wands. There could be confusion around this. Once you reintegrate those energies, you're going to have more clarity, okay? One is going to be an ego-based decision. One is more karmic. One is, again, like the tried and tested methods. One is going to bring that abundance in, but yeah, it's like there is security and fulfillment, emotional fulfillment coming, and also commitment coming, but there has to be a decision. Now, this is either you, or if you're cross-watching, the person that you're watching for. It has to, this is going to be what's going to be showing itself around October, but there has to be a decision made. Once that decision is made, that path, that kind of journey can be closed down, Ten of Swords, in order for the new cycle to begin. Okay, and again, gain a higher perspective, do the integration work, make sure you're looking at the ego side of things in order to, one sec, you may have to at some stage part in order to do some self-work to then regain back together. This could also be someone that is keeping an eye out for you, your counterpart there that is behind the scenes, that maybe hasn't come forward and is biding their time a little bit in order to sort of decide what it is they want to do. Wow. That's the Ace of Pentacles. That's a solid, grounded, practical offer. This could also be linked around work as well, and a huge amount of abundance, like wow. Yeah. Watch in amongst these decisions being made that there isn't a competitive drive. This is the competitive drive. 5 of Wands is being phased out there, but they're showing me the Knight of Swords, so it's very quick, fast, dedicated, focused communication. If you are getting your counterpart or someone stepping towards you that is of that energy and is coming through with maybe quite slightly direct energy that is maybe not too consistent, again, don't forget your ego, the message about the ego, okay, and the balancing that, because if you manage to do it, or if they manage to do it, if you're a cross watcher, this is the outcome. you've got the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. Ultimate fulfillment, both in a practical 3-dimensional sense that is abundant, and an emotional, spiritual sense. Emotional, it's like your needs are being met here, but you have to make sure that you're doing some healing work. What we're going to see this month here, what else are we going to see this month of October, please? What will we be seeing with this in October? Yeah, again, if they're in a third party scenario, just watch for that. It could be that you need to step back until that has been resolved, or this could be, again, fire sign energy. It could also be someone with an earth sign, so Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Queen of Pentacles. But this is also, it's almost like the baton is being passed over, where the commitment is coming to you. The commitment is going from one person to the rightful owner, okay? The rightful owner. So that's what we're going to see. It's going to be like, I feel like over this month, that's what you're going to be seeing. It's like something old's being phased out and something new is coming in terms of this partnership. You're doing your healing and recalibration work. Maybe they're also doing the same, or maybe you're both doing it. But then once the partnership comes in and choices have been made, not only that, but it starts unlocking unlimited potential in other areas for you. But I feel like this is just a pre-planning stage, because we just have the Page of Wands. It's like the passion is there, the fire, the dynamic, like being the dynamic energy. Can barely talk. The dynamic energy is there, but it needs to be a bit more grounded. Otherwise, if it comes in too soon, we don't want to we want the foundations to be firm. Okay, we don't want tower moments that, weaker foundations are being blown apart. This could also be the other relationship. If it's not your relationship, it could be another relationship that is being reworked and or closed off in order for the security to come in. But again, this month could be a little bit of a wait. Hanged Man, but the end of the outcome here is the 4 of Wands. So do not underestimate that is the sort of long-term outcome. Let's get an outcome here for the month of October. What is going to be the outcome? People are realizing where their true sort of north is and where their future is here. Okay, so this is being realized for the end of October, but what's the action here between now and the end of October? What's the action? The masculine is coming more into his power or her power. Okay, could be an Aries as well, but this is someone who this is the divine masculine card as well, just FYI. So if this is a twin flame, that's kind of also your confirmation. Now again, not everyone is going to actually be coming into union here. I just for those that are resonating with this, then there's a high chance that this is for you. There's also a link here to November. Something is drawing my attention to November. Now we also have, I think it's Neptune that's going direct on November 27th. I would be looking between November 11th and the 27th for this energy to really fully come into fruition for some of you. For others of you, this will come in, but it may take longer. There's different kind of phases going on here and different cycles and different kind of energy. So, but this is a divine masculine, but they need to come into their masculinity, okay? You could also be needing to heal your femininity and then swap and change as and when needed. So again, it's not just about staying in that feminine energy. It's about swapping and changing as and when it is needed, and also to gain that independence, to be solid in an also alone and independent before this can come to fruition. You will come to union when you are both in your best selves, in your best energy. Okay, so let's pull some, I'm going to pull some goddess cards here. This is the Goddess Guidance Oracle card deck by Doreen Virtue. Okay, so Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus for the month of October 2019. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus for the month of October 2019. Outcome please. Outcome please, Spirit. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus for the month of October 2019. Outcome please. My ring has just almost flown off, so that's going to be significant. Someone could be giving you an offering. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, please. Outcomes for... Wow. This is amazing energy. So this is Arekura blossoming. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself in the process. Do not give up. And look at that. It's like the divine feminine is realizing self-actualization and ta-da! It's like that energy. So, wow. And again, if you're on your path thinking, what do you mean I've just got started? This has been the longest journey of my life. Like, what, are you joking me? It's probably because you're a very strong soul and or powerful soul and or have a very strong soul path. Therefore, they're getting their money's worth. So apologies if you don't find that funny, but I can relate to it, and if you don't laugh. Okay, so this is the Energy Oracle Cards deck by Sandra and Taylor. So let's... No, I'm going to go with this one. They're not happy with it. I'm gonna pull from the Wisdom Oracle deck here. Collect, and read. Okay, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs for the month of October. Outcomes, please. Messages, outcomes. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs, please, for the month of October. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs, please. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. These cards are going absolutely everywhere, so that's good. Okay, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs, please. Messages, outcomes for October 2019. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs, please. Okay. Okay. So, we've got some pretty decent cards here. Okay, so first of all, we've got To the Sea. So this could be about healing. So being around a body of water, cleansing, purging. Okay. It could also be long distance travel and or journeys. Okay. So this could be just a testimony to what you're going through and your sort of your efforts, your journey that they're acknowledging. This could also be them sort of asking for you to sort of focus on the healing. They're talking here as well about being poised. So it's like you're almost there. You're kind of ready for that victory here. She's on that podium and she's ready to take that victory. Okay. But they're also acknowledging that this has a little bit further to go. So go the distance. Okay. So as you can see, you've got a leopard that is reaching. It's almost at the finishing line here. It's almost at that kind of end point, right? So you have to keep going. But what is at the end? The end is amazing card. Milk and honey with a rainbow. Okay, that's the milk and honey card. I'm not sure if you can see that. Hopefully you can. So I'm going to read from what it means here. Okay. Okay, so it says, you've entered a sweet time in your life, enjoying the land of milk and honey that everyone wants to experience. It's an interlude that feels more languid than ambitious, when all your senses are awake to the unlimited possibilities in the universe. These times are precious and only come when you're in your authentic zone, wearing the world as a loose garment, not wanting, yet able to be nourished in ways both tangible and subtle. Abundance is an energy that you are living part of. All of your needs are being met. You are given the gift of nourishment in every form. Okay? So there is only one authentic you. The version of yourself is spirit's emissary in the world. When you're in alignment with the truth, you are a unique expression of the divine. Your ego can rest and your soul can illuminate your purpose. Now is the time when you're seeking your true north. It's kind of affirming what I've said here. When you find this direction, you automatically step into prosperity and the world brings you evidence of abundance. Miracles are a choice and a way of seeing the world. With every choice you make now, you have the potential to seize good fortune, embrace your destiny. Opportunities will lead you to your best life now. Be open to them and you're getting a sweet taste of what you want. Amazing message there. It also says about relationships, sensuality, connection and passionate romance between lovers, sweet moments of understanding and love amongst friends and family are all here for you to savour now. Your heart's calling will be answered. Let your thoughts and feelings be sweet with gratitude and you'll be nourished with the honey of abundance. So it kind of does affirm really what the guides were saying at the sort of beginning, which is a lovely kind of end there, but they are acknowledging that the abundance is there for you to take, but it just means a few retweaks maybe over the course of the month in order to gain that abundance and that prosperity. So I'm hoping that's helped you guys. If it does help, please do leave a thumbs up. It's massively appreciated. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love for you to. If you have already, thank you for your support. I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow which is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus. I do post Monday to Fridays, so yeah, check that out if you are obviously drawn to it. And I'm doing an offer this month which is going to be a 20-minute video based personalized reading for £20. The currency exchange rates are going to be added into the description box and also with my email details, so if you do want to take advantage of that offer then the information will be down below. I'm also going to be doing an extended reading here. I'm probably going to do it based on maybe future projections of this on exactly what kind of abundance is coming in and maybe more about the 3 choices. So if you are drawn to that, it will be £11.11. Again, currency exchanges will be written in the description box. If your currency isn't on there, do email me and I can give a, you know, the sort of insight into that. What it will be is basically it will be a link sent to you which will be a private link so that you can view the extended reading. That will be sent almost immediately, but the offer of the £20 reading, that will be sent between 3 and 5 working days for you there. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. It's much appreciated. Take care. Bye.